Okay, so we're doing a little bit of a different video today. I've received a package from PlayAsia here and decided to do a opening of it. I've gotten multiple products from PlayAsia before. This is just my first time filming, mostly because either, as soon as I get it, I just want to rip into it and get inside the contents, or just never thought about filming anything like that before. So we'll just go ahead and get right into it. See if I can't do this safely without harming myself or the contents. All right. That takes care of that. Got some packing peanuts there. Okay. So naturally inside these, they have been giving out a few little items, such as stickers. And it looks like a face mask holder. That's definitely new. Everyone's been getting into the little accessories and stuff with face masks, which is sadly a sign of the times. Alright. So, first and foremost, we have Persona 5 Strikers. Both the PS4 and the Switch version. They spin off to Persona 5, which originally came out on the PS4 and PS3. I remember putting in hundreds of hours into that game, and by the time I finally beat it, I was really happy, and of course I wanted to go back into it, but knowing how daunting of a game it is, it's not really feasible to do that, especially if you're working full time. But yeah, when I knew that this game was going to be coming out, I knew I had to get both versions. Naturally, the PS4 version is supposed to run, or at least load, super quick on the PS5. And of course, getting a PS5 is near impossible right now, so just gotta wait for that. But I've got a Switch, and this will probably be the very next game I start playing. Kind of show those off here. Oh, and of course my light had to come off, so there we go. Even though there's a glare on there, it helps make these show up a little bit nicer. And of course it is rated M. Now, the other game in here is one I'm really excited about, even though not a lot of people are going to know about it. But to me, it's, well, just because of the anime it's based off of, and that is Terra Formars, or Terra Formars, or however you want to pronounce it. But it is a Japanese 3DS game based off of the anime of the same name. And this is one of those animes that some people might have heard of, most may not have seen. The main thing I could tell you is that one of the things that it's known for is, I don't know if it's North American censoring or just censoring in general, but it's one of those animes that's very, very violent, and their editing of it was very bad because they just basically blacked out 3/4 of the screen, or like, a huge majority of it during those explicit scenes, and just really, really bad editing. But it is a unique anime in the fact that the first season, I believe, was, in my opinion, a top-notch anime, in terms of watching something and kind of getting a connection with the characters, or certain characters, and a by the end of the first season, a feeling of crushing defeat and loss of hope. Now, for those of you who do not know what this is about, basically in the near future, Earth becomes highly uninhabitable, and like 100 years prior, they send cockroaches to the planet Mars to basically make it habitable. And by the time the human race goes to check on the planet, the cockroaches have evolved into these giant humanoid forms, as you can see here. And to counteract that, different countries select humans to get experimented on to become human-animal type hybrids to counteract the cockroaches on the planet. And with that first season, it's basically like the span of, well, most of it's a span of like maybe minutes to hours to maybe like the first day of this mission that's supposed to be like a 30-day mission or something like that. And within that short amount of time, like 75% of the squad is wiped out. And this also has a second season, which, after watching the very first episode, if you loved the first season, you will be crushed by how bad things have changed, from the animation to the violence, and it just reeks of poor quality compared to the first season. It gets a little better, but more or less it's not as good as the first season. Unfortunately, this game, I believe, is based off of that second season, but because it's a Terra Formars game, nothing that ever came out in the United States, I had to pick it up for the 3DS, of course, which is an unusual console to put it on, or handheld, I should say. And there goes my light again. But sadly, it's a case of the 3DS, I think, was one of the few, if not the only, handheld Nintendo console that's region locked. So unless you have a Japanese 3DS, you can't play it. But PlayAsia had it for like less than $20, and you can see it's a little bit rough looking, but hey, it's a unusual game. Not anyone has, well, most people have probably not have heard of it, and it based off of one that, minus the second season, is a decent anime, and one I would recommend you check out. So, yeah, not a huge order. Well, I guess depending on if you look at the price for everything, it does add up. But, PlayAsia is a site that I would highly recommend anyone check out if they want to look for games either not regularly available around here, or, available in other countries. Like, I know these two were available last year with, Japanese versions that, region free, so you could play them on your PS4 or your Switch. You just wouldn't be able to understand it. So that's why I had to wait for these ones to come out. And then, of course, you get something unique like this that you can put in your collection. Might not be able to play it. As far as I know, the reviews for it are pretty bad anyway, but just a nice little one to add to the collection that people could look at and be like, well, that's different. But anyway, that is a look at PlayAsia. And there's that if you are interested at all. I highly recommend checking out the website. They do have a huge variety of things. I wish this was sponsored by them, but of course I'm just a simple nobody, so that wouldn't happen. But it's good stuff. It does take a little while, and then one thing I do have to rephrase is that, like, I'd purchased all these at the same time back in January, and of course this one was available right away, but these two weren't available until the end of February, and I just now get them. So if you purchase multiple things at once and you have ones that are pre-orders, most of the time they're not going to ship the stuff out until everything in that order is ready. So you just got to keep that in mind. But I'm prattling on long enough. That is a look at some products from the site PlayAsia. Go check it out. And I hope you all have a wonderful day, and we will see you later.